The Aussie NFL Fantasy Show would like to acknowledge the traditional land owners and the leaders past, present and emerging of Ngunnawal, Ngambri and Darawal countries where we are working from today. This always was, and always will be, Aboriginal land.
This is the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show.
If you're saying start Josh Allen, then we're probably going to clobber you.
It's going to be tough because I'm going away from what the winning formula was from last week.
Well, the problem is that could happen against Detroit as well. But
Aussie.
That was just taking a shot at the Titans for signing the ghost of Adrian Peterson.
NFL.
And I don't like to foreskin, as we know, but that person might come up later.
Got to troll a few people. Well, some people were trolling me first about Niners being frauds and now Eagles fans. Only comeback they had, I was Australian.
Fantasy.
It's not like you picked up like Paddy Mahomes or something. You were getting Daddy Dimes.
And I was getting a third tight end.
This is the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show.
What do you play at a funeral? Just some sort of like sad tune?
It is week 12, of course. Matty C here with Manjot Melly. Taylor, who's just winning everything all over again. We'll get into that in a second. Welcome to week 12, fellas. Good to have you back on the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show.
Yeah, I'm back. We're back.
Manjot's
Let's
back.
go. Yeah.
He's back. Let's go.
Taylor's back.
Now, I'm not sure if that's Taylor or Tua Goodall. What's going on there, bro?
Look, we're one and the same, mate. And look, I just had to have Tua as my background because I've got some leagues where I'm welcoming him back. I had to play Russ in a league, and it just felt absolutely filth. So I want Tua back as quick as possible.
Yeah.
He's back this week. He's going to tear Houston a new arsehole, and it's going to be great.
Isn't it going to be great? I can't wait for that.
I can't wait. I'm going to have him back in my two flex dynasty, him and Mahomes. Let's go.
Oh.
Yeah, that combo. You guys, I literally inherited that team, and then it actually worked out. So, yeah, thank you, Matty, for inviting me into that league. Thanks, Marky Mark, as well, for inviting me into that league. Yeah.
My team started so well in that league and is now very quickly turned into an arse sandwich, which is true of most of our leagues. Manjot and I are currently the proud holders of last place in the Astro League. We're 3-8, and I don't even think there's pride left to salvage. Tay, would you say that's a fair call?
Yeah. Anyway, we'll move on.
I got to tell you, this hurts because I've never been last in this league this late in the season, and it's a tough pill to swallow. But I think we're starting to look at next year already.
Yeah, we're planning already.
Tough in a league where there's a lottery, but
Yeah.
Taylor's going week to week.
Wembanyama.
A tough week for you and Astro this week, Tay, but because of your scoring, no troubles.
It was brutal. It's one of those ones that I had a thought about it after it, and it's happened a few times where if my players had just played earlier, it wouldn't have felt as bad because I would have woke up halfway through the first slate of games, and if I actually had all my players play because most of them were in the second slate, I would have seen the fact that I was projected low, and I wouldn't have felt like I was so far in front of Joel. But I was 114 to 70. When those second slate of games started, 44-point edge in projections, and basically 4 players lost to Brett Maher. So, yeah, Mike, I had 4 guys lose to a kicker in the second slate of games.
That's
and
amazing.
My 44-point edge went down to about 8, I think it was at that point. Actually, by the end of it, it was even. It was literally even by the end of it. And I needed something special, basically, from Eckler. He gave me basically his average, and then I had to fade Debo for 10 points, and he ended up with like 20. So it wasn't really close in the end, but it was an amazing roller coaster during the week. It just, in the end, like, it didn't really matter about the kicker of Cowboys in the end. It was just my team just didn't show up. It only had 85 points. So that's all you really have to go.
You would have cleaned our team up, though. We had 4 players combined for 0 points because one of them scored 1 point, one of them scored -1, and 2 of them scored a straight 0. So that's 4 out of 9 starters combining for duck egg.
That was bad.
That's it. It was just one of those weeks in the end. And
we're clearly not worthy anymore. That's the problem. We're just clearly not worthy. I think we're actually going to get relegated. Is there a lower league that we go into? Is that what happens?
Yeah, the Astro League too. I think we're creating
that. Development league.
Yeah, that's
Just go into the farm
second
system.
division. Yeah, the national second division Astro League.
Could you imagine the teams
Triple
we're
A.
playing out there?
You're in Triple A. Triple Astro.
It'll be the all puns teams out there. Like it hurts when I whatever, it'll be those sort of teams.
I think it was Joel summed it up where he was like, "Oh, this is the part of the year where all the shit teams beat all the good teams." So he was basically trying to play down his own team and say mine was good. But look, in the end, I've still got a wild card spot, and I get to play Adam one more time, so I've still got a chance to win the division.
Oh, now what week do you play Adam?
still
Because
make the
clearly
playoffs
I'm going to have
as
the popcorn ready for that. What week do you get
Yeah,
him?
I've literally never beat him as well, and this would be the perfect time to do it.
It's time, mate. It's time. We were talking to Ryan Van Engelen this week, who is coach of the Huskers in our league, Nebraska boy. And I was actually kind of looking forward to if we won this week, and he was not projected to win. We were. That next week we actually play head to head, and it was our chance to get ahead of him. Now that's not going to happen. Like we're in the same division. I was like, we could still finish third in our division. No, that's over. Ryan goes and puts up the super.
Get more lottery balls. Come on, man.
Yeah, and we put up like a 60. We would just pass. Absolutely pass.
Thankful Wembenyama at this point. That's where we're at.
Yeah.
But hey, look, trade deadline in a few leagues coming up this week or was last week. Yeah.
Yeah. There was trade deadlines all over the place last week. And I just hadn't checked the Astros, but apparently we've got one more week. Apparently big week of moves. Hay was talking to everybody last week in Astros.
Yeah, I kind of had put it to rest that I needed to talk to anyone else because I thought it was over. I even traded a week before. I would have probably kept Kittle, like I mentioned, if I had known that it was 1 week later, because I knew he had an unbelievable matchup against the worst tight end matchup in the league in Arizona. But I just thought I had to do it that week, so I did it. And then I realized after the fact that there's another week deadline, so that was a bit shit. But in the end, I'm happy with how my team looks moving forward, and that's just one reason why you just go to the rules and check just to make sure.
Yeah, 100%. Your commissioner in that league your commissioner in that league is a bit of a dickhead. So
yeah, he was definitely
every other year he's great. This year he's shit, total shit.
Yeah, at least Sleeper tells you like in full on
it's
yellow
got a big
and red.
bold letter.
And usually I do that. Usually that's me, but NFL fantasy site, I don't want to disparage it too much because I've been on it for 14 years, but it is not very good anymore because all the other ones are newer and so much better.
Yeah, they're just not really updating it. Like it just doesn't really do anything new.
Which is so dumb because clearly it drives a lot of revenue for them. But anyway, I can imagine a world where we eventually move to a different platform one day. But I think there's just so many guys in our league who only play on that platform that I think it could be hard to move some of them. That's a conversation I'm going to have in the off season because I think if we can move to one that's more versatile, it will only make the league better because we'll be able to do more things with scoring. Like this is a big limiter for us. And I don't know if other people in fantasy world have this problem. As a commissioner, and I've been commissioner of this league since it started, is that I've been spending especially the last 7 or 8 years trying to find ways to make the league more interesting, more competitive, more fun, find more interesting new ways to score. But this particular provider it really limits what chances you've got when you do have a good meaty conversation with your owners about what would be possible. And you go, actually, can't do that. Like we were talking about field goals this week, Tay.
Yep. That is an awesome... That isn't a good idea. I thought it was one of the best one that's come up is like if you hit a 46-yarder, you get 4.6 points. Like actually go decimal point on the yardage. It's just better because it's so annoying when you're when your guy kicks a field goal and you have to go, shit, was it 49 yards or 50? Because it makes a massive difference. And really in the end, it should only make 0.1 of a difference.
Right?
Yeah.
Especially in standard leagues where it's a difference between 3 points and 5 points. We only made the change to make 40-yard, between 40 and 49-yard field goals 4 points last year. Like we've been a bit behind the curve on that, and some places now offer that standard. But yeah, it makes a big difference. It makes a huge difference. So yeah, I like the idea of decimal kicking, but you can't do that on, for instance, ours NFL fantasy. You can't set tight ends up to be a premium per reception or anyone else to be premium yardage because it just goes, people who receive get this. Well, okay, so anyone who gets a catch is someone who receives, whereas on other sites it will help you split it by position. So I think that's probably a good conversation that we can have toward the end of the year around things to talk about for league conversations at the end of the year, looking towards the following year. And it's a conversation we have on the show every year as well. We've done it both seasons, haven't we, Tay?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a really good engagement, and everyone sort of tries to bring an idea, and either gets shut down or we change it.
And I think that'd be a good episode to have someone like Marky Mark, or maybe just sort of one of the guys who's really been entrenched in our leagues for a long time on to talk more about that, because it is very much a fantasy thing. And maybe not so much just the really into it NFL guy. But I definitely still need to find a way to get Ian Tomlinson back through the Viking. He's desperate to get him back. We might get him through for the NFL playoffs, maybe.
For sure.
Yeah. Definitely.
Look, big show, as always, because we've got Dr. Good Call swinging by. I've got some fantasy games. That segment looks like it's going to be a bit of fun for a couple of weeks. And, of course, we're doing starts of the week, which, sadly, that's kind of hit a bit of a climax in some ways, but in other ways, it's kind of good. But we start the show every week with pastries.
Yeah, let's go.
I want to see the pastries, man. Tay, surely you're up for a pastry. You'd think I've only been eating pastries the last 6 weeks while I've had the bung shoulder. All my fitted shirts don't fit the way they used to, and I'm glad I've got the sling most of the time because it kind of hides the buttons are pulling apart. This tiny little skinny guy with this distended gut like E.T. It's hilarious. So maybe Tay can have the pastries, and I'll just have a cup of water on the side this week.
Yeah, that's why you've got to be like me, mate, and your entire body just puffs out instead of just your stomach. You look a lot more even.
Yeah, I definitely don't look even. I look unwell.
Man, I need that too. My stomach's the one that puffs out as well, man. Come on.
No, so brothers, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, too much.
See, it's not just a mind meld; it's a gut meld too, which I don't know. That kind of does sound a little disturbing.
Yeah. Pause on that, Maddie.
All right. Well, let's fire up the pastries. Let's do it.
They're so sweet and fresh. Really? Yeah. Thanks for calling pastries. Thanks for calling pastries. Pastries. I got all my pastries. Pastries. We get 'em while they hot. We get 'em while they hot. We get 'em while they hot. I got all my pastries and I got 'em while they hot.
Let's can that.
Never heard that bit. I never heard that bit.
Yeah.
Going too far there, Maddie.
Well, and I cut it in afterwards because good producer. Not really. I'm about as good a producer as I am commissioner this year and fantasy owner. Not terrific. People who are terrific, great segue. See, professional. The pastries only go to people who do terrific stuff. And I'm assuming, Tay, correct me if I'm wrong, it's just going to be fucking wall-to-wall 49ers. The AFC Awards, 49ers. The NFC Awards, 49ers. Just everything, 49ers after that Monday night game, right?
Yeah, how many players are on the team? There's probably going to be about, 200 pastries given out today. So probably everyone that's ever played in the last 10 years, Manjot will probably find a way to give one to them.
Yeah, don't forget Jerry Rice, Joe Montana, Steve Young, Roddy Lott, all of these guys. I'm going to list the entire 49ers all-time team at this point.
Heard of any of them.
1974 pastry.
I never heard of any of them. He's just making up names.
1964.
You're just getting simulated names off Madden or something like that. You know how if you play too many seasons, it just starts giving you rookies where it's just generated a name.
yeah, those ones.
Joe Montana just doesn't even sound real.
Yeah.
Joe Montana?
Yeah, it might be. Yeah, like Lee Montana. Might be like that.
I feel like I should make a superstar called Joe Montana. I feel like that'd be so good. Sorry, I digress. Manjot, take it away.
Yeah, look, there's a ton of pastries to give out today. I think we're still gonna do that whole thing where we give special nonsense pastries. So I'll start off. Look,
oh God.
The Mexican pastries are actually going to be called the Taco Award because I'm counting tacos as pastries. I don't give a shit about if they're defined as a pastry. You guys can all decide. But the Taco Award.
What if it was an empanada? Because that's probably closer.
Yeah, empanada. All right, the empanada award this week.
Because accuracy on this podcast is really important.
Yeah. Hola Mexico.
Hola Mexico.
This team said adios to the other team. It was the 49ers. Obviously, they deserve this. The entire team. I think one player definitely deserves it. gotta give it to my boy Jimmy Garoppolo. As much as I hate him, as much as I try to hate this dude, I just couldn't this week. I mean, I've been trying so hard the last 12 months to like just say it's enough. It's Trey's team. Man, come on. I'm done. I'm done.
Trey who? Trey who?
Yeah, I'm done with hating on Jimmy. I'll be honest. I'm done for now until he like flops again. But I don't know. It's just that one guy I can't trust. But this week I could trust him. 4 touchdowns. That was nice. That was good performance by Jimmy, in Mexico. Very happy for him. Yeah, I feel like that's the only game of the week. So I don't think there's any other pastries that I have to cover. So look,
No.
that's the end of the segment, isn't it?
Perfect. Yeah, and look at that world record.
Yeah, that was the quickest pastries.
How about Jimmy G thing though? I don't know. You'd feel pretty good if you had him as your start of the week quarterback.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It was pretty good.
Too bad no one else in my team turned up.
90% of your points.
Well, I don't think it was that few.
Yeah. All right. Now, I've got the Thunderbolt Award for the player that owns the Chargers franchise. I'm going to give that to Travis Kelce after his performance. Might not be his only award, but we'll start off straight up. He's got to get that award because of that amazing performance against the Chargers. Funnily enough, when the Chargers scored their last touchdown, I had a power outage, so I missed like the end of that game. Yeah, so I had to react live. It was legit. I was like, not only did I miss like the Chief Titans ending, I think it was, yeah.
Oh
a couple
shit!
weeks ago,
Yes, you
because
did.
KO went like a couple minutes over, and then now I missed the Chiefs game here, and it happened that like the power outage ended. Like the power outage just happened straight after the Chargers scored a touchdown. So it was like a full-on whole conspiracy here. This entire power outage situation. I think there's a lot of explaining to have to do here in Canberra with that. The entire inner north actually went down.
What's going on with your suburb, mate? You need to come out to the pristine parts of Canberra that I'm in. We don't put up with that shit.
It wasn't even just my suburb. It was like all of Dixon, all of O'Connor, all of Lyme, as well as all of Turner. Like legit, the entire city was like down at that point. The whole inner north. Man, and there's like police sirens and everything. It was like going off. Yeah.
Losing or something.
Yeah, we were like going crazy out. So I caught the score at the end. I just missed like what happened. Yeah, but look, that was tough. All right,
well, he's the chief of LA. He's
Travis Kelce had fucking spiders on him, apparently.
Apparently. It's covered in baby oil. Fucking amazing.
Yeah, he must have smelt bad. If
he was covered in baby oil, send him my way. I think I'd like a piece of that. He helped me. I have in 2 leagues, and man, I was not disappointed in either of those leagues this week.
Yeah. Look, the player that fakes to be a quarterback award, the player that's the most fake quarterback award. I'm gonna workshop that name, but it's gonna go to Zach Wilson. Absolute dog shit performance against Patriots. Another one. This dude, I don't even know. He's not even taking accountability. This is why I have Josh Allen in my fantasy league now. At least he knows when he's doing bad. He takes accountability. Zach Wilson, he could never do that. I reckon. Look, Wilson, if you got him in your fantasy teams, first up, what are you doing? How haven't you dropped him yet? This team must be like a 0% own at this point, because Zach Wilson, he ruined entire dude. He ruined Elijah Moore, for example. Wait, he's 17% Ross and 5% starting sleeper.
I'll just cut in there. I'm tanking in a dynasty league, and I have Zach Wilson, so I'm thinking I might chuck him in my lineup.
Yeah, you started him.
Come on.
That's the guys who are starting. That 1 in 20 is due to our Taylor.
All right.
Just need to put a warm body in there because you don't want to win.
Yeah. The tank for Wembanyama is on.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
but look,
I'm not even going to attempt it. You've got this nailed, mate.
Yeah, look, there you go, Taylor. That's why there's a 1 in 20 chance.
Do you think, just quickly, do you think that Zach Wilson is actually trying to get fired so he can go after Giselle now? Just saying.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Look,
But she's available.
The King Award obviously has to go to Derrick Henry after what he did this week. He was not only rushing the ball as usual, he's also catching passes, even throwing passes. This dude, incredible, carried me to a fantasy win this week. I reckon it was better than
second
some
flex.
other dude. Yeah, I elevated him this week to the first running back spot. I was like, enough of this second flex BS. I gotta pay the king his respect. He's gotta go up in the team list now. I just didn't want to hide him anymore. I thought because he's on Thursday night as well, in case one of my starters was going out. Yeah,
no malarkey, mate. No malarkey.
I couldn't BS around. See, I learned that tip this year. Don't BS with the flex on Thursday nights.
Don't do it.
Yes. Hail to the motherfucking king.
Yeah.
How do you defend that play, Tay? Did you see that play and just watch Henry bury into the line and just stand up and just pop it over? And did you just think the same thing as me? Just go, I don't know how you would ever stop that.
Oh, grind guys got like flashbacks in the chat after that. That's what I was saying. He's done it before.
They've done it before, and it looked exactly the same. It's just that play right on the goal line where he just basically looks like he's going to barrel over, and then it's just whoop, just pops it over.
Right.
just
you need every horse to stop him.
Obviously, an Austin Hooper or whoever the hell it might be.
Yeah, it's Austin Hooper.
It's just they've done it a few times. They're just like, why not just once out of every 20 times instead of just barraging the door open with Derrick Henry? They're just like, we'll just pop it over the top because that's what they're expecting.
Yeah. Look, even they try and defend that play, you don't know when it's coming. So it's not even that easy of a play to read. So
it's not defendable.
Impossible.
Like honestly,
no.
they could.
You have to send every horse.
If they decide to do it once every 10 times, then you were never defending it.
Because if you don't send everybody, Derrick Henry just falls in untouched.
Exactly.
Which is amazing because he's enormous. Like that's a bit of space to not be touched.
That is the Yeti. The Yeti was in the snow.
Yeah.
The Yeti.
Yeah, he was at home, man.
That was incredible.
Yeah, that was the home ground for him.
That was incredible.
Yeah, undefensible. Completely undefensible. I don't know how you'd ever stop it.
Where else can we get? Oh, yeah, Jamal Williams. He definitely got to get a Sleeper of the Year award this year. I think it's enough. Yeah, Seahorse. Seahorse gets a pastry as well for picking him up.
I'm wearing my Lions jersey for Jamal Williams this week. I saw the Lacad about that too. I sat Saquon this week because I just had a feeling about Jamal Williams.
Honestly, there might be people out there listening that are like, you know what, I had a feeling about Jamal. Like I don't mind him. I saw him in Hard Knocks. No, I'm sorry. You have nothing on the love that the Seahorse has for this guy. I've never seen someone just more confident in a backup running back in my life. And he is so right. He just has played him every single week since obviously he got it from you guys.
Every week.
He is, and he's so keen. Like he's like, honestly, he is willing to trade anyone on his team, and probably some of his family, like I am. And honestly, if you bring up Jamal Williams, it's just like shut the door. He's not even going to talk to you. It's amazing the love this guy has for him. And honestly, he's been completely right this year. Honestly, and it's the reason why Seahawks are 6-5.
Yeah.
Yeah, we brought this up, and probably not the team to be bringing this up because we're dead last. We said to Taylor how great it is that Seahorse, with this strategy, has the same amount of wins as him. And, I mean, you rightly sat us down and said, you're last, shut up. But I still thought it bore pointing out, that's all. That's all.
Yeah. You're last. Such a great comeback.
You're last. Sit down. Back on the bench.
Now there's some roasting Taylor did there.
Yeah. It was me. He didn't roast you. It was me because I came after him like a bear to honey and he's like swats me away like a fly.
Yeah. Before we get back onto the positive pastry awards, though, we got to get some shit sandwiches out there.
Yes.
These are the worst type of food you can eat. You absolutely... Yeah, don't be eating this, please. Anyone, don't be eating a shit sandwich, please. This is going to taste disgusting. All right. First up, I'm going to give one to the Broncos because they're the Broncos. I think they're just, there's no explanation needed. They're just the Broncos, and Russell Wilson's going to have less passing touchdowns than he has bathrooms in this mansion. So I'll put some shit in one of those bathrooms there. There you go.
12-7 right now.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go. We're gonna put some shit in his bathrooms there. All right.
Tasty.
Second up.
Wow.
If he keeps eating spicy Subway sandwiches, he's going to be putting a lot of shit in those bathrooms.
Yeah.
Be careful. It's spicy. Second up, Kirk Cousins easily. Man, anytime this dude does not play at noon, he's not at noon Central Time, that is, by the way, 1 p.m. Eastern. He's an absolute spud. I don't even know. I don't even know what it is, the psychology in this man. At 1 p.m. Eastern, he can be like, you like that? And he can like put chains on himself after wins. And then at 4 p.m., he turns into a way worse version. And then in prime time, he's probably the worst. So I'm actually going to be picking the Patriots this week because of that. Because, I can't trust Kirk Cousins anymore in prime time until I see it. And I see it against a team that's not named the Bears. I'm not trusting Kirk in prime time. So Patriots.
Against the Bears doesn't count.
For anyone who's having a last minute sort of prediction on that one, I'm going Patriots. Just saying there.
Just saying.
Yeah. So just want to put that one out there. Look, where else can we find shit sandwiches? I mean,
Come on, more. Come on, give us one more.
One more.
Give us another one. Come on.
One more. And then we got one more good one, and then the actual pastry. So one more. I've got Justin Fields. Unfortunately, he's a good dude. It's just I've got him as my choker award, my choking hazard pastry of the week. Unfortunately, because for some reason he plays good, and it was the final drive, and the game's on the line. He never gets it done. But that's not me shitting on him. He's just a second-year guy. He's not Zach Wilson, who deservedly gets a shit sandwich award. It's just advice. It's just advice.
He's not Zach Wilson. I thought you were saying that for a sec. Like, he doesn't aspire to be Zach Wilson. Like, trying to talk up Zach Wilson for a sec there.
Yeah, he's not that guy. But look, Fields, this dude, he needs to learn how to play in the clutch. But that's it. That's all.
I've got my conspiracy hat on. I've got this feeling that they don't want him to be good in the clutch at the moment. I think they're just trying to release him to see what he's got, and he's clearly showing with the rushing ability and the fact he's passing a bit better than he was earlier in the year. They can see enough that he's going to be their future at the quarterback positions. I think they honestly don't even want to win. I think they're just fine playing these really high-scoring games where they lose because, one, they get to see what they've got in field, and two, they still lose, so they're going to get a better pick.
Yeah.
So I actually don't even think they give a shit if they're winning or not.
Yeah, that's fair.
You're not sacking your new GM and coach now, right?
Yeah.
No, it's about the future. There's future plans for this team. So
yeah. And look, one more of these other superlative pastries.
Oh, superlative pastries. Oh.
Look, we've never done this before. This is a golden rule of the Pastry Performer Awards. And I know I'm about to get a ton of hate for this one. I'm going to give myself a pastry. I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm going to give myself a pastry. I've never done this before. I'm actually going to give myself a Pastry Performer Award.
What have you done?
What have I done, Maddie? You guys have been witnesses to this. This is actually... So I've actually made the biggest fantasy trade in my life this week. And it's in the Content Team League. I'll tell everyone. This is why we're talking about trade deadline a bit early, because I wanted to mention this trade. So,
all right, Tay, you be the judge, Tay, because no one trades like Tay. You be the judge, okay?
This was a two-part trade. It was a very, very interesting. So it's technically a three-team trade in the end, but it was more a two-part trade. So my first trade, I sent Kenneth Walker and Daniel Jones, and I got Josh Allen in return with Tyler Lockett. Man, that was nice. That was nice.
Yeah,
and
that's nice.
And then the second trade, I sent Lamar Jackson away, sadly, because I had Josh Allen and I had Diggs on the team. So it was the stack was there. And then I got James. Yeah, I had to stack him. I got James Conner in return just to bolster up the running back stack. The running backs stocks up there in my Death by Devontae team. Only named that because Maddie beat me.
That was one bad hour, and you've named your whole team after it. And your team is actually magnificent, you know.
But I'm really thinking I'm going to rename my team to Taylor Owns This Team because my team's full of guys Taylor owns in fantasy, and also he's 2-0 against me in that league this year. So
you've only got
this
3
is
losses.
A double meaning. It's
If
a
you
double
want to
meaning.
beat me, you've got to trade Henry away. He won't play well against me. He's not allowed to.
I'm actually
he's
going to
got a
bench
contract that
I'm
says that he
straight up
can't beat
benching.
me in fantasy.
Straight up benching him. Yeah. Straight up going to bench him.
With your team, you probably could now. I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah. That's why I made
that
trade.
With my second flex. Yeah, you don't need him. You can just sit him on the bench and torture people. Beat them while he's on the bench. Like, that'd be the ultimate troll, wouldn't it? I've got Derrick Henry. I didn't even need him.
Yeah, I'll do it. But look, now I've got Josh Allen. I've got Stephon Diggs. I've got Derrick Henry. That's 3 guys within the top 12 fantasy players in PPR this season, or top 13. That's incredible.
Yeah.
I don't look respectfully. I don't get why people are like, oh, you're doing all this just to beat Taylor. Well, I can respectfully have a chance against Taylor now if my team is firing. We actually have a chance, Maddie, but we're not going to lose. I think we're going to lose not by 30 this time. We can actually lose within 15 points now.
Oh,
it might actually be a win.
But look,
we'll be updating the viewers about that because look, this is probably the biggest trade I've actually made without anyone else helping me. I was all over on sleeper DMs. Like I was all in on Friday. I was in Instagram DMs. I was trying to trade with the whole league. I was trying to trade for a wide receiver, and then it all turned out to be Josh Allen and everything. And I was like, God dang, where did this come from?
I sent you a trade for a receiver, but it was a time expiring one, and I just
I wasn't.
The message self-destructed after 5 hours. Sorry, mate.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna do it. I'm sorry, Maddie. I wasn't gonna do that trade because you're setting me a dude that actually turned out to be pretty good this week.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was setting him to you. I had a good running back. I sent you a good player. Anyway.
Manjot sent a message out to the league, and then he was pissed off at me because I was the only one that didn't come back to it.
Yeah, where were you, Taylor?
What was going on?
Where was he? Why isn't
Taylor dead?
Yeah, I thought Taylor actually was like not reading the messages or something. I wanted him to. Yeah,
it's just the way. I've said this to Maddie before. Like when you have a build of a team that's like wide receiver heavy, like mine is in that league, I find it a little bit harder to trade. I don't know why. Like it's quite lopsided to wide receivers. So I didn't really want to give any of them up in a trade, to be honest. So I was like, I've kind of got this no running back sort of strategy at the moment, and I'm like, well. I'm not really willing to give up one of my good wide receivers to then get a running back. It kind of goes against the strategy I've had all year anyway. So that's why I just didn't bother.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, look, we've been in talks before about certain running backs, Taylor, and you rejected me when I straight up wanted one of your best wide receivers, so I can totally understand. Yeah, but look, that league, hopefully, I think we've created enough of a good league there with all the other Aussie boys that is actually pretty competitive this year. It's actually the 6 playoff spots out of 10. So I've made it.
We are all in too, by the way. I'm in 6th.
Yeah, we're all in.
I'm bringing the oranges, man. I'm just there to watch. I'm getting bundled out in the first week. Probably by you.
I'm projected. Yeah, I'm projected to play Maddie in the first week.
Who's Devontae Adams get that week? That's important.
Oh fuck.
Although if I can put Ian away this week, you might leapfrog into the bye.
Yeah. And I'll dust Ian. Ian's team is starting to fall apart. The plates are wobbling over in Ianville.
Oh, he's playing New England that week in week 15, Devontae.
Bonus.
Yeah. Yeah,
he
I might be
0.
I might be in trouble. If I'm
you think Belichick's just gonna let Devontae Adams eat? Like Foster Moreau can fucking beat us. That's what he'll do. We go, yeah, you're gonna beat us? Beat us with Foster Moreau, mate.
Hey, don't foreskin my start of the week that week.
Oh,
Yours?
okay.
All right, fisticuffs. You, me, car park.
I do love battling over a mediocre tight end. It's probably my favorite thing.
Logan Thomas.
Logan Thomas.
Logan Thomas. Come on, man.
There was some true hate when I picked him. You're like, ah! I'm melting.
God damn it.
I've had a
I
few
remember he
times.
like left the room. He's like walking around his entire room and everything. Man, that was the funniest shit. It's all over Logan Thomas. He scored like 3 points that week too.
2.3
Come
or
on,
something.
man.
It was the dumbest.
Yeah.
Oh my
it
god.
was so some of these trades.
I love
man.
this
Come
show. I
on.
do. I love this show.
Yeah, look, let's bring it home strong with the actual pastries.
All
today.
right. An 8-pack of the best.
Yeah. Look, rookie pastry performer, Chris Olave. This dude is special. The 102 yards of 5 catches and a touchdown. Incredible performance by him. When you have Andy Dalton as your quarterback, by the way, free Jameis, but look, when you have Andy Dalton as your quarterback, not many things are expected of you, especially as a rookie wide receiver. But when Chris Olave turned up last week, man, he was pretty good. So congrats to Chris. First rookie page performer, I believe, for
done.
him.
He's
Yeah, he
easy to
deserves it.
cheer for too, isn't he? Tate, you've got some shares in him in places too, don't you? You're a bit of an Olave fan. No, apparently not.
Absolutely. There was a couple of ones I did try to trade high on him a few
Mhm.
weeks ago, which kind of worked out well outside of this week just gone. He definitely got a bit of an Andy Dalton treatment when he didn't have a few good games in the middle there. Problem is, one of the trades I did was for Cup, and so I basically gave a Lave away for nothing in the end. But in the end, if you're going to get a chance to get Cooper Cup, you're going to take it. So yeah, I've got him in. I think I've only got him in one league now, but I've been very happy with him. He's going to have a fantastic future, put it that way.
He really will. Love that pick. All right, so there's your rookie. 102 and a tutty from Andy Dalton. Man, that's actually like Iron Man stuff. The guy's probably got a cape.
Incredible, yeah. Look, Aussie Patriot performer. Who else, man? Mitch Wisnowski getting it done in Mexico. This dude had
Did they even punt in that game?
Look, the first quarter or so, we did punt, but he had some great punts, man. He was so close on the first one, but the second, like the first one is so close to down on the one. The second one he got it just right on the one. So good, like
so good.
Man, Womack was nice there. Oh, boy, there's so many nice I could talk about. 4 punts for 218 yards, 54.5 punting average, 2 inside the 20. Incredible performance by Mitch Wisnowski. I think he deserved the pastry for that.
He's fourth, isn't it?
Yeah, I think he probably has the most pastries out of everyone this season.
He and Joe Mixon eating pastries.
Yeah, I reckon he's a chance for pastry performer of the year, don't you guys?
Getting close. I mean, I'd like to see somebody who's more worthy. I roll them out here. Introduce me to them. I don't know they exist.
Yeah, exactly.
So the Mitch Wisnowski award goes to Mitch Wisnowski. Got it.
Yeah, definitely. I think one day we'll have to name it after him once he retires. Yeah, so
or even now. I mean, the next 4 years we could call it that.
Definitely. Look, let's roll on to the defensive page performers. So getting to the big boy awards. So we got Nick Bolton for the AFC. Played good for the Chiefs against the Chargers. 14 total tackles, a forced fumble and an interception. Pretty good stat line. NFC, of course, it had to be Micah Parsons. 4 tackles, 2 sacks, and a forced fumble for him. Absolutely dominated against the Vikings. The Vikings stood no chance after that forced fumble by Micah. So, yeah, Micah, total game changer, probably in the front runner. Yeah, front runner for defensive page performer. As much as I hate to admit it to Jack, I probably have to admit it that he's gonna beat out Bosa because Bosa missed the game. I'll try and milk that. I'll milk that conversation as much as I can. But yeah, Micah's probably gonna win.
You need Micah Parsons to sleep in one day and miss the game. That's what you need. You don't want him to be hurt. You don't want him to be sick or anything. Just have a sleep in. Like his alarm doesn't go off like Jonas Gray all those years ago, and just misses a game. That'd be the way to do it. Then you can get Bosa back, man.
Yeah, Jonas Gray. Wow,
Yeah.
that was a one game wonder if you ever wanted that. Wow.
Don't you love it how
Yeah.
everyone goes out and picks him up, and then he gets the donut the next week because he misses that practice, and Belichick goes, "You're not playing."
Yeah.
That's it. Scores 38 points for you one day, 0 the next. Scored 0 before that, by the way. Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, definitely. Look, offensive page performers. Another cowboy for the NFC, Tony Pollard. He was incredible. Just did absolutely everything last week. Couldn't hear enough about him after, being in a chat with Jack,
Yeah.
the Cowboys fan. He's always hopping teams, by the way. If you guys were like wondering why is he not a Ravens fan, he's hopping teams like as much as possible. But look, matter of fact is Tony Pollard was pretty good last week, and god dang, he destroyed Minnesota with those 2 receiving touchdowns. Sounded good down the ground. He started like 88 yards, but look, Pollard is just. I think he should be running back 1 respectfully to Zeke. I think Zeke should be relegated to running back 2 duties. To be honest,
Trade him. Just see what you can get for him. Because I mean, you relieve a lot of salary cap. You'd be making the other team pay for at least some.
Yeah,
But
and
I
then
don't know if Pollard wants that though. Like, there's been a lot of quotes from Tony Pollard saying that he struggles to get like at the end of games if he's had too many carries and too much of the workload. I actually think the 1-2 punch between him and Zeke actually works because
yeah,
Zeke goes and punches out when they need a 3rd and 2 or something like that, and or a bit of a goal line sort of run. And then Pollard is so much more energized to then go do something like a 60-yard catch. So it's funny how often Pollard, I know he had that one really, really good game and it was just him, but just generally, he actually kind of looks better when Zeke sort of takes
yeah,
half the workload away from him because he's just way more energized.
it's just
yeah.
kind
I
of like
actually agree.
the Chubb Hunt thing. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I just think he's even said it himself. Like he just feels way like he's not getting too tired and he's not just like taking rushing attempts in the second half just for the sake of it. Like what he gets is design stuff for him, and he's 100% at his full speed level when he gets it. When he's actually only getting half the workload.
Same was true when I was at the Astros, mate. I'd say to Pete, mate, 3rd quarter, you just can't target me, mate. I need my touches to be high value.
yeah,
Of course.
yeah.
I need
This is
2 receptions, 2 yards. I need
Third
the
quarter,
Brandon
mate.
Ayuk stat line.
It's not a stomp. I'm not doing it in the 3rd quarter. Sorry, mate. I got to save it for the big 4th.
yeah,
When we're down
it's
40-14.
Oh, mate, we
Yeah,
haven't
it's
got
like
14.
yeah. Let's bring in an all-time comparison for those 2, Fred Taylor and MJD.
Oh,
Yeah, Maddie, we gotta give the Jaguars love.
Jaguar.
We gotta give it. We roast them enough, but they had 2 good running backs back in the day. So yeah,
10 minutes there. It was heaven. For 10
it was
minutes.
good. It was good, man. All
We
they
got a good
needed was
running
a
back now.
quarterback. Yeah, I mean they had the Robinson ETN stack that didn't work out. AFC offensive page performer though, he did work out. Travis Kelsey, another pastry. He had one of those many pastries, the
Baby oil.
fake ones, but he
I
got
see
a
what's
real one.
going on here. You've got 2 Dallas players for the offensive and defensive pastries. You got 2 Chiefs for the offensive and defensive pastries.
Yeah,
These are 2 teams that just strangleholded parts of games. They just did.
yeah, yep. 2 players. Yeah, it's weird. It's all Chiefs and Cowboys this week, isn't it?
Carried units on their backs. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, Kelsey was absolutely incredible. Those touchdowns he scored, man. Kelsey was he owns that team. Like I said earlier, anytime he plays the Chargers, he's just a whole nother human. I literally just traded for him in a dynasty for Kittle. So it was like the most win-win trade this week. 6 catches, 115 yards, 3 touchdowns for Kelsey. Man, Kittle had similar numbers too, but it was like the most even trade we've made all year. Usually we win a lot of these trades in that league, but yeah, we just straight up traded Kelsey and Kittle. So it was funny. It was a funny trade, but
Not bad.
yeah,
Not bad.
yeah, it was dynasty too. So it's like, yeah, win now, win later, everything.
100%.
Yeah,
Those trades work for everyone.
Yeah. Look, fantasy page performer. No one else scored more than Tony Pollard in PPR leagues this week. He dropped a huge one this week. He's probably one of the best players, I reckon, in fantasy right now. I don't know if there's any league.
Tony Pollard, right? It's the
Yeah.
hierarchy. Tua first, Tony Pollard second.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't care who's behind
100%.
Tua.
Yeah. Tua's obviously number
Tua.
one.
God, Tony Pollard.
Yeah.
The rest.
Yeah, exactly.
Shout out to Tony Pollard. Could he just play like shit in week 13? Because Adam has him.
13. Okay,
Yeah,
write this
okay.
down. I'm buying lots of popcorn for week 13. Got it.
Can someone just get him on the line and just tell him to play like shit?
I can do that.
I'll get
Queensland.
my contacts from to Mike McCarthy so that he plays Zeke more that week in week 13.
Mike McCarthy being such an awesome coach, he'll probably just do that anyway. I mean, I saw that meme getting around last week that Mike McCarthy's coaching actually got the Green Bay Packers finally a win at the clutch. Burn!
Yeah, they're playing the Colts next week in week 13. So, oh boy, the Colts.
That'll be fun.
It's a good run, dude.
Yeah, they don't have Shaq Leonard anymore. They have DeForest Buckner, but they don't really have much else.
No, they're hurting a bit. They're hurting a bit. The Colts aren't what the Colts were supposed to be at the start of the year, and as Taylor said, good.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to say anything more about the Colts, mate.
You have been banned.
Yeah. Colts are a bad team on this podcast, just like the Broncos on the other podcast. So, yeah. Look, page performer of the week, the big one. Yeah, look, if someone is playing well and he's playing at the least favorite position on this podcast, the most hated position on this podcast, I think he deserves the page performer of the week. It's Travis Kelce. Come on.
I was waiting for you to go George Kittle.
Look, it's
waiting for Brett Maher.
Yeah. This week has just been all Cowboys, all Chiefs, one Niner, and then one Saint. So read into it what you will, but yeah, Cowboys and Chiefs just played well this week. I think they deserved it, especially Travis Kelce. It was amazing. Amazing performance for Travis Kelce. I think he deserved it there. Look, yeah, if only they had like some Australians and some rookies that played that well. Yeah, then they could have done way better. But look, I think the Cowboys, the Chiefs, they're gonna be influx pastries for Kelce and Pollard coming to their mansions this week. I think they'll enjoy. Tuck in and enjoy, boys. You deserve it.
5 pastries between those two guys. Wow, what a week out.
Yeah, and I might not be able to watch games this week because the World Cup's on as well. Just don't forget, I might make some wrong pastry predictions when our pastry performer picks when Germany plays Spain on Monday morning at 6 a.m.
Mark will pick for you. It's fine. He's filled in for everybody. He can fill in for you, mate. No worries.
Yeah, might have to get Marky Mark on the line.
He's a Swiss Army knife for fantasy, isn't he? He just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what the segment is like. I'll do it.
Yeah, exactly. But look, don't worry. I'll be watching football. NFL over everything, even the World Cup.
Yeah, the football. The traditional style. What I like about this though is we're talking between our main audience here is pretty well a nice split between the US and Oz, and we're the only countries in the world that call it soccer. I kind of love that. So we don't even have to pretend. We can just call it soccer. It's great. They're the other people who get it.
Yeah. Football's better than soccer. There you go.
Oh, not close. Hey, that is an impressive list of pastries. Just going to go over them again because, well, I like to. You got the empanada going to Jimmy G and the 49ers, who just ripped it up in Mexico. The Thunderbolt, because he is the mayor of the Chargers, and that's Travis Kelce. What is it? The fakest quarterback ever, Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
Sorry, I almost called him the fattest quarterback ever. I'm like, woo.
That's Jamarcus Russell. That's
Jamarcus Russell. Dontari Poe, he's throwing a touchdown pass.
True.
Yeah. The King Award going to Derrick Henry. Fair enough. We didn't name this one, but I think, do you call it the no trade clause pastry for Jamal Williams? Because Seahorse will just not trade him for anything. Doesn't matter how many
Yeah,
pastries.
fair enough.
Nothing. No trade clause.
That's a good one.
No
That's
trade
a good
pastry.
name.
Some shit sandwiches going to the Broncos for just being the Broncos and having, sprinkling cancer on everything they touch. And Kirk Cousins for being a donut and not even scoring that many points if you play in a league where sacks count against your quarterback. And Justin Fields being the choking hazard award for the week. And a big wrap up with the, I don't know, I call it the Taylor owns his pastry because it's going to Manjot for the way you traded beat so Taylor, and your team now just being full of people who only Taylor likes.
Yeah.
There you go. Exactly. There's that lot. And then of course we've been through the serious pastries. But I think this segment sort of had just a whole different level kick into it since we started giving a few more discretionary pastries. It's just been a whole new thing.
Yeah. Yep. We definitely go actually.
It's gone up.
Yeah. I think the pastry exchange rate. We'll have to devise something for that, like the defense flow chart we had the other year.
I think eventually, there'll be too many pastries. Like there's too many cricket games now, and eventually it'll be so worthless and no one wants a pastry. It's like how no one wants to watch the Aussie cricket team now because there's too many games. So I gotta be careful. Might have to tone it down from now on.
All right. Well, I mean, you're the giver of the pastries, so yeah, you're gonna have to, pull the reins in when you think it needed, and go hog wild when you think it's season, man. Pastry season, sign me up. It's been a good week of pastries, but if you have too many pastries, you're going to look like me and have high cholesterol, and you're going to need a doctor who wants to bring in Dr. Good Call.
Yeah, let's go.
Finally made a segue for that.
This is the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show.
And they just went and, I don't know, put up 40 fucking points. And then none of it went to basically anyone. It didn't make any sense.
It's okay, so I did the math wrong there.
Oh, you definitely weren't wrong. I was just trying to work out what it had anything to do with TJ Moore.
Aussie.
Baker sucks pure ass. Well, he's so bad.
I think it's Baker, to be honest. That's the problem.
NFL.
One should have been a Hall of Fame if he didn't get fucked up.
I'll take Matty C's fucker.
Fantasy.
To the Colts' credit, they've got great fans who send out death threats to people because they said that their comment didn't age well.
He had a photo, I'm assuming it was his kid. Looks like it was from Fraggle Rock.
This is the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show.
I hope he doesn't listen to the rest of the fucking podcast. He'll lose it even more.
Like, I'm not defending AV or Le'Veon. They're both shitheads.